Hi, welcome to Comic Talk. I'm Joshua.
And I fuck with savages, you a fuckboy, you can't hang. You can find me posted up on Frank Block with my fucking gang.
And this is Comic Talk, a weekly pull list review for May 25th, where we talk about comic books. Jesus Christ, what was that?
Slim Jesus, did you ever see that video?
I guess not.
Oh, it's this fucking suburban white kid that's trying to do like Chicago style rap.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What's Chicago style rap, by the way?
Drill.
Okay.
Chief Keef.
Gotcha, yeah.
Yeah. It's the shit I don't like.
You don't like it either? Or you do like it? Is that a song? That's a thing, isn't it?
It's a part of a Chief Keef song.
Yeah, that's right.
I do like some of the dudes doing it, but I don't like fucking Chief Keef. And that was like the shallowest shit I've ever heard.
Yeah, I never got into any of that.
Even, it's not, I don't think he's from Chicago, but I've finally given up on trying to like get into Drake.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Yeah, I can't handle any of that. Like, really, most of the hip-hop I like is called usually trip-hop. That's usually what I like. Or things that get into that kind of, like, that side of things, you know? Where it just gets weird and, like, the timing is strange and shit like that. Like, Cannibal Locks and Dead Prez and, like, anything like that. If you know either of those or...
I think my big qualifier is, like, I like people that mess with the rhythms a lot. Like,
right.
Eminem does that shit a lot, and Wu-Tang did that a lot. And then just, like, general wordplay. I think I'm super into Lupe Fiasco, because he's, like, super good at wordplay. Yeah.
See, I've never gotten into wordplay, but I've just never been into, like, lyrical content much at all. But, like, fucking with rhythm, check out Shabazz Palaces if you haven't.
Yeah, send me a link or something.
Yeah, they fuck with rhythm like crazy. Like, his shit is so weird, man. It's cool.
Nice.
So this is kind of a short week for us. We were supposed to have 4 titles, but we didn't get one of them. They just, local comic shop issues where
fucked up. They
just missed us, and then it sold out. And that was Dreaming Eagles. So when we do get it, we'll talk about it then, because it's like one of our favorite comics.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll definitely come back and talk about it. It's just going to be late. But we do have Bloodshot Reborn number 13, Doctor Strange number 6, I think, 8, Daredevil number 7. So we'll start off talking about Bloodshot Reborn. And by the way, we got this cool variant cover that actually looks pretty much like it does in the black and white, because it's just got a little bit of red that you can't see. But I thought it was really cool, so I switched it out. You know, it didn't cost any extra.
Sure.
Yeah. Which reminds me, do you guys pay for those? Like, do you ever buy them? We asked this one other time, and nobody answered. We'll ask again. Yeah. Anybody ever actually pay for variant covers? Because I may have paid like an extra $1 or $2 if they would have asked. You know, if it would have said like $5.99, I might have bought it, because I think it's cool looking.
Sure.
So Bloodshot Reborn.
Bloodshot Reborn.
This Analog Man Part 4. I think it's
OG Man.
Do you think this is like the finale for this storyline? Or do you think there'll be one more, like, where shit hits the fan kind of thing?
Well, I mean, it says the next one is going to be Bloodshot Reborn on that fucking island.
Oh, yeah, you're right, the island. So, yeah, this is the finale for this.
For the Analog Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's kind of the finale for the Analog Man. I mean, there's a bunch of weird shit that is happening, and he's fighting, like, the goo and the Man-O-Wars, and... Yeah, I don't want to spoil the big twist, because it is a big twist. Right,
we won't spoil it. I will say that I was a little disappointed with the big twist, just because it's such a cliche kind of thing.
It's like in a Tom Cruise movie.
Right, it's like every Tom Cruise movie.
Pretty much.
like if there's like a clever Tom Cruise movie, you know, where he thinks that he's in a clever movie, not like an actual clever movie, you know, a Tom Cruise movie where he read it and went, hey, that's clever. Like those movies, like it's always that. This is always the end, right?
Sure.
So, that being said, the art is still awesome, and I really particularly like the art in this one, because he's doing this really cool motif throughout where it's the whole, I remember a past event, and it's like the same thing like the same image but redone in a different way, like past image, present image, over and over again.
Yeah,
and then it pays off at the end as well.
And then the person with him is different. And,
Right. Or the other way around, or he's in the pose the other person would have been in. Like it keeps over and over playing that way, which is a lot of fun. Yeah, it makes it worth looking at just on its own.
Also, the paneling in this issue is just fucking awesome.
Yeah, it is really cool.
It's so good. The writing itself, it makes me sad to say because I'm such a Jeff Lemire fanboy, but writing-wise, I've been pretty lukewarm on this.
Yeah, me too.
Always.
Yeah.
But the art's really cool.
The art has kept us on this series since the get-go, really.
Yeah, if it was any worse, like if they had a different artist that wasn't quite up to spec, I think we would have dropped it like months ago.
Yeah. Well, and they've consistently had some different artists on this, and it's been good with everybody. Like, even all the way back near the beginning when we first started reading it, it was consistently the art was keeping us on it, even though it's gone through, 4 or 5 different artists, I think, now.
Yeah.
So they're really kicking ass on the art side of this, that's for sure.
Yeah. I did like a blood squirt back in the day. That was one aspect of the writing.
Yeah, that's true. That was fun. Yeah, that's a fun aspect of Bloodshot that I'm sure we'll see again.
Yeah, I'm sure we will.
I'm sure that will come back again.
Positive.
Well, yeah. So, all in all, this was pretty good, mostly on the art side. Also, the lettering. You're talking about the art. The letterer did a really good job because the paneling is laid out really funky. And it's actually the letterer that keeps it from being confusing as hell.
For sure.
Like, he did an awesome job of like overlapping the dialogue boxes to pull you around the page.
Definitely.
And art that is often missed, but I think deserves mention here.
How do you think this stands in the greater scheme of like cape books?
What do you mean?
Okay, so this is sort of like their Valiant's like go-to title. Like you would pick up Bloodshot the same way you would pick up Batman or Spider-Man or something like that. So how would you compare it to those?
The comparisons are tough like that. I think just in terms of quality,
overall quality,
it's clearly the art is again the thing that drives it, and it's that quality I think is a lot higher than other stuff. But writing wise, it's like
about the same.
It's a middling kind of title that I could see it as like a Punisher book that nobody really picks up. You know what I mean? It's okay. Yeah,
I would agree. It's pretty standard fare, like as far as like cape books and shit go. I mean, there's a lot of fighting and dialogue here and there, and there's nothing really profound happening. But again, the fact that the art is so far above like anything that we see in either of those two books.
Yeah.
If you read books for art.
Yeah, you really should be reading this. And you see a lot on the internet, people, like Valiant has this really strong fan base that really just pushes Valiant like crazy. Every time somebody asks, what should I read, you'll inevitably, in whatever forum you go to, there's going to be that one guy that's like, Valiant! Read Valiant! It's so good! But I still haven't found it. I mean, we have some people actually that do the same thing with us, whose opinions from what I've seen in comics I've pretty much agreed with. I think they're pretty knowledgeable comic book readers, knowledgeable viewers that read comic books, and
there we go.
They tell us this. They say, "Oh, you should read more Valiant," but I keep reading Valiant, and it just seems okay. There's nothing about it. I have yet to read a title where it all comes together and makes me go, I have to keep reading this. I haven't had yet like the vision for Valiant or
What do you mean? Given we've only read really Bloodshot and then the second Archer and Armstrong.
Right, but on my own time I've tried reading some other stuff as well that we have not reviewed here, and none of that so far has really grabbed me either. It's all just seems like a reasonable alternative to Marvel or DC, but nothing
super standout
that stands out as above what they do, if that makes sense. It's just it's as good, but it's not something that I care there's not so much that it's making me want to pull away from those and read more of this instead. All right, next we got Doctor Strange number 8. And this is Aaron Bacallo and Townsend still, so it's still the same team. We've been on this a while.
Yep. It's continuing the bit with the Empirical, and he's looking for little remnants of magic left with which to take them down. And we also see, I like that it's finally harkening back to the first issue where it's like, this is my fault because I hadn't been paying my tab for like years and years and years.
Yeah, agreed. We get a little bit of like Indiana Jones-ishness in this one, where he's, you know, crawling through old crypts and trying to find artifacts and such. And he finds some cool, fun stuff.
I did like that bit for the fact that he's crawling around and stuff, and it's basically like treasure. Like there's like scepters and gold coins and crowns and stuff. He's like, well, this used to have magic in it, but it's not gone, and this lantern used to be able to like take down worlds, and now that's all gone. So basically this is all just junk.
Yeah, he calls it junk.
Yeah, anybody else could find this, and like it would make their whole life and the life of every generation of their family after that for probably like 1,000 years. And he's just like, fuck this shit.
Yeah, it's a bunch of garbage. Somebody move all this out of the way. Yeah, I agree. That was fun. And just in general, it had a fun feel to it. You know, this could be really heavy and weighty with the topic of, you know, these science bad guys coming through and trying to destroy magic in the world.
I kind of wish it was, but on the same note, I mean, the art's so cool that it's kind of nice that it doesn't get away of it sometimes, you know? I mean, there's not spots on the page to necessarily fit, like, entire paragraphs in, like, 3 different spots.
Right, yeah, and it... I think the tone is right for the artist that he's working with, because we know Jason Aaron can be much heavier in tone.
Hell yeah.
But he's clearly going for something a little more fun, a little looser, and I think it's fitting. I think it's working, even though it's maybe not what I would have expected from when you tell me Jason Aaron's going to write
Doctor Strange,
and it's going to be about, you know, science aliens showing up to destroy the world. I would have expected something else, but I like what we're getting instead. If you have an open mind, it's pretty good, I think.
For sure.
And artistically,
it's always been great.
It's awesome. It's still awesome.
There was a couple little spots where it's like everything else on the panel was like immaculate and just amazing, but then something like his hand would be like just kind of weirdly drawn and not make sense and stuff, so that just could be like a deadline thing, and he spent too much time in everything else. He was like, fuck it, I got to draw this guy real quick. And
probably. All in all, I like the way it looks. I think it's a lot of fun to read and a lot of fun to look at.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's swing over and talk about our other Marvel title that we have for the week. This is Daredevil number 7. This is Sol Buffagni? Buffani?
Yeah, we'll say Buffani.
Buffagni. And Mia or Milla. I don't know. Who cares? So, what's up here?
Continuing the storyline with Elektra, where she's convinced that he did something to her daughter.
So...
Not like in a weird way, but...
No, not in a weird way. I'd kind of forgotten where we were at in this story. And when I opened the first page, I was super pumped.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah! It's the Elektra thing. And I remembered that we had actually really kind of liked last issue because it... the pace kind of changed a little, and we were done with 10 Fingers.
Yeah.
And we were pretty excited to see what was going to happen here, and I feel like it actually paid off pretty good. Did you have a different opinion?
It just still makes me miss Mark Waid.
Yeah.
The thing.
Yeah. No, I agree there.
But I mean, it's easily on the upside of 5. You know, I'd say it's probably one of the better Marvel books out right now.
Yeah. I'm liking it. I think this is the best we've gotten so far from Soul.
Yeah, I would agree.
So, and I mean, that's maybe not incredible, but we've continued reading it, so it hasn't been that bad.
Yeah, and it's good to see he's making strides and stuff like that.
Yeah, he's getting a little more into the character. I really like what he's done with the character development. I like Blind Spot. I feel like that's a character that's probably going to last. He seems like he's now part of the Daredevil pantheon, I think, which, if nothing else, you know, Soul's managed that, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I also liked, and I'm usually don't give a shit about continuity or whatever. But the little pullback where she's like trying to show him something on a phone, he obviously can't see it, and Foggy's like, well, if you hadn't erased everybody's fucking memory, like she would know that you're blind, and she wouldn't expect you to like be able to see this video. But yeah, I did enjoy that a little bit.
I did too, and I thought that the phone was the best part of the issue.
Yeah, me too.
I really liked. We go back to this thing where the smallest things end up being his like kryptonite, right?
Yeah.
He can't see a phone screen, so.
And there's also a wonderful device to like bring Foggy back into the fold too. Because
like
who the fuck else would he like bring it to?
Right. Yeah. Who else is gonna look at the phone for him to tell him about some crazy shit that's supposedly a video, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cleverly done. It was a good device, and between the blind spot stuff with where he's talking about, she was gonna stab you, broken arm's no big deal,
Yeah.
And
this kid.
Yeah, this kid. Yeah, that whole stuff. Like, Jesus Christ, this kid's ridiculous. And he tells him he's gonna get him a job, and he's like, seriously, that's awesome. So like that was a lot of fun, and just the stuff with the phone was cool, and really that for me made the issue.
More on the blind spot thing though, I like how, he's obviously probably at least 7 or 8 years older than like any of the Robins had been when he brought him on, but there's still that feeling of, yeah, this is like a fucking kid, and they're really playing that up. Like, are you sure that you're doing the right thing, bringing this fucking kid into this shit?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a great idea. I can't believe nobody did this sooner. Give Daredevil a protege. It seems so obvious now.
Yeah.
It's weird that it didn't happen. Maybe it did happen. Did it happen? Is there this blind spot the second or third or something? Are there other ones? I don't know.
Also, just like the fact that it's not like a 10-year-old, because it's more believable. Yeah.
Yeah, and like a 18 to 20-year-old is young enough. Maybe just as I get older, like I don't see that as being too old to be a kid.
Sure.
So for me now, he's young enough that he still comes off as a child, and it's fine. So yeah, it works.
What are we doing this weekend? We talked about it.
Well, we need to do the 52.
Oh right, yeah. This is our year end.
Right.
Yeah.
This is episode 52, which is interesting because this is DC Rebirth week.
This is the end of the new 52.
It's the end of the new 52. It's our 52. It's our episode 52. So that's a weird.
It is weird.
Thing.
Coincidence.
So we're gonna do like a year review, right?
Talk about our favorite series that we've read for like the whole year, because we've gone through a lot of shit. We haven't talked about Airboy in a long time. We haven't talked about Fade Out in a long time.
Right.
We had a lot of good shit come through.
Right. So we're gonna go back and take another look at that, and also just talk about probably the year in comics in general. Maybe some of our overall impressions of things, and the industry, what we thought was good and bad. We'll see.
Yeah. And you'll see.
You'll see as well. Also, I think here pretty soon, maybe as a bonus episode we've even talked about, we're going to talk about the DC Rebirth thing, DC Universe Rebirth, like the
actual issue, not the
actual like comic itself, the Jeff Johns. We've talked a long time about how we need to review something of Jeff Johns. We give him a lot of flack, right? Like more than a week or so doesn't go by on this show where we don't make some sort of offhand
fuck this guy
Jeff Johns comment. So we're gonna bite the bullet, because this thing is getting like crazy reviews. Like everything I read talks about how great it is, and we've discussed how even the reviews to us, both of us, we had the same reaction. It makes it sound bad.
Yeah.
Like
I really like this and this and this, and why the fuck would you like that?
Right. That sounds terrible.
It's stupid.
But we're gonna bite the bullet. We're gonna read it. We got to get a hold of it. It was sold out. What the fuck? How is that sold out? It was sold out.
People think it's even worth money.
Yeah, people are idiots.
It might be worth money.
Which people are idiots.
Yeah.
Either way, my comment stands.
It comes back to like the whole thing about collectors just determining their own market.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like everybody's buying fucking Harley Quinn comics because everybody thinks that people are going to buy Harley Quinn comics, and then they
Right.
charge a lot for Harley Quinn comics because, you know, they think people are going to be willing to pay a lot, and then it's just so like masturbatory.
And then people see that it's going for a lot, so then they buy it speculatively
Yeah,
because it'll surely be worth more later.
right.
Right.
I don't think anybody actually reads them like anywhere in the process.
Yeah, they're all just
Buy it and then bag and board it. Like,
Yeah.
Just send it up to the CGC, fucking whatever.
Yeah, slab it.
Yeah.
I wonder how many slabbed Harley Quinns there are. Like if
Too many.
Harley Quinn gets slabbed more than anything else, like modern, I bet it does.
Probably.
Anyhow, so we're going to talk about that actual issue, and we'll just do that as soon as we can. Maybe early next week. Let everybody kind of digest it a little bit, and then we'll talk about how much we hate it. Which, spoiler, we're probably going to hate it.
Yeah.
Right? We're probably going to hate it. I've seen some of the preview pages. It looks fucking awful. I don't understand you people. People, they like on Reddit, they posted up like, this is fucking cool, did you see this? And I'm like, man, that does not look cool at all. That looks like garbage. Hot, fresh garbage. So we're going to read it and we'll review it, and you can have fun hearing us complain. Other than that, come back every Wednesday or Thursday or whenever the hell it is that this actually drops.
And then every Monday or Tuesday or whenever the hell that actually drops. And
Right. So don't put so much pressure on us.
we appreciate your patience.
We're busy people. We have lives.
Your views are important to us.
Yeah.
Please stay on the line.
Please hold for the next video.
Be with you shortly.